Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
Hits this one hard again to right center field. Oh, look at the crowd at County Stadium. He is getting a roaring ovation. Here comes Mulder to the plate. He is stolen home. 39 in a row. And the place goes crazy.
There's always going to be something unique and special about my relationship with that organization, at least to me. You know, at 58 years old, you know, over a quarter of my life was spent playing for that franchise. So, yeah, man, the memories are fantastic.
Paul Mulder back where it all began here in Milwaukee for the first time as a manager. 15 years with the Brewers, building a Hall of Fame career. And the great number 4 hanging in Miller Park as a reminder of just how special a player Mulder was. This Twins-Brewers series on Fox Sports North is presented by North Dakota Tourism. It is a border battle take 2 as this interleague rivalry travels to Miller Park. Welcome to Milwaukee on a Friday night. I'm Jamie Hirsch. The Brewers took 2 of 3 from the Twins at Target Field just a few weeks ago. Now the Twins would like to pay them back with a series win of their own. And we have a few news items to fill you in on. Big-time pitching prospect Alex Meyer has been called up to the big leagues. He's made the transition from starter to reliever and is ready to make his major league debut whenever the Twins need him. Speaking of talented youngsters, Byron Buxton is out with a sprained thumb he suffered sliding into second base on Tuesday. So he's been placed on the 15-day disabled list, which means Danny Santana will take his place on the roster. Now, he struggled earlier this season, but he has torn it up at AAA over the last few weeks and looking to make an impact and stay up here with the Twins. Trevor May will make his second interleague start in as many weeks tonight. Nick and Bert take a look at his numbers in the month of June after this break.
strike him out. Swing and a miss. Got him. Outstanding. The Twins embark on their longest road trip of the year. Trevor May will make the start for the Minnesota Twins. First time he's ever faced the Milwaukee Brewers. And a former Twin who's never beaten the Twins, Kyle Loesch, will go for Milwaukee. We welcome you to enclosed Miller Park. We've got indoor baseball tonight for the opening game of this 3-game series and this long road trip. And it is a road trip that by the end of it will see the inclusion of Ervin Santana into the starting rotation. Now people think, well, it's easy to make a decision as to who should go out of the rotation. You go by seniority, but the fact of the matter is Trevor May has been the best Twin starter in the month of June.
Yeah, it really has. You can go back to 7 starts, but so far here in the month of June and May, you would think he'd be good in May, but he was okay, but June is even better. In 4 starts, he's 1-2. Now don't let that record fool you, because in 24 innings, he's allowed only 5 runs. He's picked up 24 strikeouts during that time, only 6 walks. So Trevor May, who's making a start here tonight for the first time against the Brewers, has pitched very well as of late.
Twins have a bit of a score to settle with Milwaukee. The Brewers took 2 out of 3 in Minnesota. The Twins would like to do at least that here in Milwaukee.
Not old lineage, a new idea. He's not from anyone's coaching tree. He manages out on his own limb. Less fire and brimstone, more tactic and detail. No managing profile. A legend as a player, a rookie as a manager.
They're gaining confidence. I think everyone in the lineup realizes that they have a job to do, and that's just how we play the game.
What is under that hat? Eyes that see every baseball nuance, watching his team transform from pretender to contender. Paul knows. Paul sees. Paul says.
The Twins win it! And Paul Molitor returning to the scene of the bulk of his Hall of Fame playing career being played here in Milwaukee. First pitch to Brian Dozier, tapped foul. It'll be Brian Dozier, Torrey Hunter, and Joe Mauer here in the Twins' first inning.
Yeah, they'll be facing Kyle Lohse for the second time this season. He got a no decision in Minnesota in the Brewers' 10-5 win.
One strike to Dozier. And outside, 1-1. Mentioned that Lohse, a former Twin, has never beaten the Twins. It's a little more interesting than that. The Twins are the only team in the major leagues that he has not beaten. He had a great chance to do that at Target Field. His team gave him an early 5-0 lead. And then the Twins came back with a 5-run inning to tie it up. And then Lohse, ended up with a no decision. The Menards batting order: Dozier, Hunter, and Mauer. Then Plouffe, Rosario, Suzuki, Nunez, Robinson, and Trevor May. 2-1 to Dozier, and a blast to left, deep and gone into the second deck. As we heard in Minnesota, the visiting team very well represented here in Milwaukee.
And Brian Dozier does it again, another extra base hit. It's the 4th time this year and the 11th in his career that he has led off the offense for the Twins with a home run. His 15th of the year. It's a pitch up, and that has been a nemesis for Lohse this year. That's 18 home runs he has given up. And Twin fans all over the place.
And a pretty good spot for that Twins fan to be. Torrey Hunter takes a strike on the outside corner. In the opening game of the series at Minnesota, it was the Brewers' leadoff man, Gene Segura, who started the series with a home run. And that was part of that 5-0 lead that Lohse had before it all melted away in the middle innings.
And that's been Lohse's problem this year. 3-9 on the year. Very high ERA at 6.3. It's innings that have gotten away from him. He'll throw 3-4 shutout innings, and all of a sudden here's a 4 or 5 spot. And Kyle Lohse's been around a long time. This is his 15th major league season. And as Dick mentioned, he started with the Twins back in 2001. Won 51 ball games in a Twins uniform.
2 strikes to Hunter. And down and away, 1-2. With a big double against Chris Sale a couple of days ago when they put up one of those crooked numbers against Sale, and that's just off the outside corner. Now 2-2.
Lohse, very good control, only 19 walks in 86 innings pitched. 64 strikeouts.
And it was 0-2. Now it's 3-2.
Kyle, 36 years old. Only 5 of his 15 starts this year have been quality starts, and the Brewers are just 5-10 in his first 15 starts. So it's been a struggle not only for Kyle Lohse, but the whole starting rotation for the Milwaukee Brewers.
How quickly it can change. We've seen it change positively for the Twins one year to the next, but when the Brewers were leading their division a year ago, the starting pitchers were largely responsible for what many thought was a surprising start for Milwaukee.
And that's why the Twins are really where they're at right now in the American League Central Division, and because of good starting pitching. But here in Milwaukee, the starters, there's Matt Garza. We'll see him tomorrow night on the left of your screen. They are combined 16-40 with an ERA at 4.91.
And Hunter hanging tough. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. You can see in the last 2 years the change. The Brewers led the division, had a great first 4 months last year, then fell apart, and this year's been more of the same, while the Twins have greatly increased their win percentage.
Yeah, Lohse himself a 13-game winner last year in 31 starts, worked almost 200 innings, had a 3.5 ERA. He's having a tough time. And a good battle for Torrey Hunter against Lohse, but Lohse is having a tough time putting Torrey away.
To be the 10th pitch of this at bat.
Not a lot of at-bats for the Twins against Kyle Lohse, just making his 3rd career start against the Twins. Torrey Hunter 2 for 4 against Kyle Lohse.
Right center and deep. Gomez on the track makes the catch. One down. And that'll bring up Mauer. Well, Mauer has been a T-Mobile game changer against the Brewers. His longest active streak of reaching base safely currently comes against the Brewers. 12 straight games. And when the Twins came from behind to tie the Brewers in Loesch's start at Target Field, Mauer's 3-run home run, the biggest swing of that 5-run 5th inning.
Yeah, that came in the 5th inning. So Joe Mauer, that was his second home run, and the only right-handed pitcher Joe has hit a home run off of so far this year. All the other 3 home runs he's hit, home runs, have been against lefties.
Ball 1. And now ball 2.
Yeah, Loesch has not won since May 15th. His last 7 starts, he is 0-5 with an ERA at 6.87. In those 7 starts, only 38 innings, he's allowed 29 runs.
And now 3-0 to Mauer with Plouffe on deck. Mauer 4 for 6 with a couple of home runs against Loesch. He might be green lighted here. And he takes a strike on the outside corner. Big road trip for the Twins. 3 games here, 3 in Cincinnati, 4 in Kansas City. And now 3-2.
That Twins come into this ball game 39-33. That puts them 3.5 games behind the Kansas City Royals in second place.
Full count. And Mauer lifts it foul over the Twins dugout. This is the first of 3 city road trips for the Twins. Got another one coming up in late August and another one in early September. That'll be crunch time for the Twins. Schedule wise, when the Twins have to have a 1.5 long road trip at the end of August for a quick homestand of 6 games, then back on the road for a 1.5 again in early September. Driven to left and carrying deep. Parra back, and he too near the edge of the track makes the catch 2 away. Northland Ford defense for the Brewers. Parra is in left, Gomez in center. They've each had a putout already. Ryan Braun in right. Ramirez, Segura, Jeanette, and Lind, the infielders. Luke Roy behind the plate.
That's another area that has not been very good this year. 56 errors by the Brewers. That's the most in the National League.
At the knees, a strike.
And you always see it. If you have good pitching, you have usually good defense behind you. And we talked about the lack of starting pitching and also the inconsistency of their defense.
2 strikes.
For some reason, Kyle Loesch has had trouble here at home, pitching at Miller Park this year. In 8 starts, this is his 9th start. He's only 2-5 with an ERA at 4.48.
Excuse me. Just off the plate.
I said 4. 8.48.
I was going to say 4.48. Yeah. That's not
bad. 8.48 in his first 8 starts. There's the comparison between home and road.
Slash foul. Craig Counsell talked about that this afternoon before the game. He said, but they've seen Kyle Loesch pitch well in this ballpark. It's not the ballpark. It's just one of those quirky things that happens from time to time. There's Craig Counsell, named manager, signed to a long-term deal after Ron Renicky was fired after a 7-18 start.
Yeah, last year he was 4-3 here with a 2.72 ERA.
And now another full count. Loesch has given up a leadoff home run to Dozier, and he's had 3 ball counts to the next 3 batters. Rosario on deck. fouled back. Ninth pitch of this first inning for Kyle Oates. So far, just one run on the board. Another foul back. I don't believe there's been a swing and a miss here.
No, Torrey Hunter had a long at bat. Joe Mauer, now Trevor Plouffe.
What happens at the end of the Plouffe at bat with another 3-2 pitch coming. Pop up right side, and Jeanette makes the catch. Twins made Loesch work. The quickest at bat was the best at bat for the Twins. Brian Dozier's leadoff home run, giving the Twins the early lead. Many thought that Craig Counsell was a general manager in waiting, either here in Milwaukee or elsewhere. It turns out he was the manager in waiting. Brewers 20 games below the 500 mark. It's been a long season, and we're still in June. The Menards batting order: Gerardo Parra, followed by Jonathan Lucroy, Ryan Braun, Adam Lynn, Carlos Gomez, Aramis Ramirez, Gene Segura, Scooter Gennett, and then the pitcher Kyle Oates.
And Trevor May will face that lineup. For Trevor May, he's making his 14th start, his first career start against the Brewers, his third interleague start, actually in a row. He faced the Cardinals, the Cubs, and now the Brewers. 0-1 with a very good 3.27 ERA in interleague play.
Strike on the outside corner.
Showed you the numbers of Trevor May in June, and he is 1-2 in the month, but an ERA of 1.88.
Deep to center. Shane Robinson's out there leaping, and he knocked it over the wall. And the game is tied. Robinson made contact with the ball with his glove, but he knocked it over the fence, and it's one apiece.
Well, Parra saying, Brian Dozier, if you can do it, so can I. His 5th home run of the year. A breaking ball that Parra goes down and hits the other way. Robinson goes back, leaps up for it, and hit off his glove and then over the fence. How about that? Both leadoff hitters hitting home runs.
And now a ball to Jonathan Lucroy.
Trevor May, only the 7th home run he has allowed on the year.
And a strike.
Lucroy Spent some time on a disabled list, a little over a month. He missed 38 games with a broken left big toe. Had an all-star year last year. Hit .301 for the Brewers in 153 games. 53 doubles.
2-1 to Lucroy. Check swing now, 3-1. To the gap in left center. Robinson won't get there. It's the very top of the wall and bounces over. It's a double for Lucroy. In the same direction as Parra's home run. Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Robinson's had a couple of long runs already. He's flanked by Rosario and Hunter. Plouffe, Nunez, Dozier, Mauer, the infielder, Suzuki behind the plate. Again, the news of the day, the Twins putting Byron Buxton on the disabled list with a sprained thumb. The expected time on the DL, 4 to 6 weeks.
Let's take a look at this fastball right here. You can see it's hard. I mean, it's fast, probably 93, 94, but really right down the heart of the plate. And Lucroy put a good swing on it.
Here's Ryan Braun. Strike one. Mentioned the Twins have a bit of a score to settle with the Brewers. It was the Brewers who started the June slump, June swoon, whatever you wanted to call it. Twins had a great month of May, only lost one series all month. Then they split the 4 games in Boston and came home, and the Brewers won the first 2 games, which sent the Twins on a string of 4 straight series losses. Again, in the month of May, they lost 1 series all month. So the Twins would like to at least take 2 out of 3 in this series in Milwaukee.
After going 20-7 in the month of May, in the month of June, Twins are 9-14.
2 strikes to Braun. He's still struggling for his first out. Ooh, up high a little bit. 1-2. Winning series has been an important part of the message Paul Molitor's given his team, and they've done a pretty good job in that regard. Yep. 1-2 to Braun. And now 2-2.
You know, you brought up a good point in the open, Dick, about, you know, Irvin Santana. He worked in last night's ball game in Rochester, 7 innings. He has 1 more before he's eligible to be activated, and they anticipate July 5th. Does it go into the mind of a guy like Trevor May or Tommy Malone, who will be pitching here on Sunday? You know, because there has to be a spot opened up for Santana. And hopefully May isn't thinking about that in the back of his mind, that, you know, hey, I have to pitch good. You have to go out there and relax and let your natural stuff take over. But he has been pitching good. Over his last 7 starts since May 16th, Trevor May is 2-2 with an ERA of 3.09. So he's been pitching as well as any Twin starter.
2-2 to Braun. Popped up, and another foul ball that'll reach the seats. And now May, who's only thrown 13 pitches, it just seems like he's been out there longer than that. He's still looking for his first out.
You know, what we have seen is the starting pitching has really kept the club where they're at. And it started really in April, and how they've improved each month. Neil Allen done a great job of handling the starters and the whole staff in general in his first season.
Another 2-2 to Braun. Up the middle and through. Great at bat for Braun. Lucroy to third. They're going to wave him in, and it's 2-1 Milwaukee.
Braun picking up his 46th run batted in. Got a pitch down. But again, you can see the location. Suzuki wanted it in, and it got too much of the plate, and Braun hit it sharply up the middle. Lucroy scoring the second run of the inning, and just like that, the Brewers take a 2-1 lead.
And now Adam Lind. Get a big 3-run home run against the Twins in the series opener in Minnesota earlier this month. Slow breaking ball, and he got a high strike called. Getting ground ball double plays not a strength for Trevor. Just 4 of them on the year.
And keep an eye on Braun. He's one of these guys, if you don't pay attention, he will take off. 7 stolen bases in 8 attempts.
4 straight hits from Milwaukee.
Well, the starters have been so consistent, especially here in the month of June. But you go to April, the starters combined 7 and 9. See the 4.5 ERA. In May, when the Twins won 20, they were 15 and 4 combined. And even in the month of June, even though the record isn't like it is in the month of May, look at the earned run average. They're getting better and better, and the quality starts. More quality starts. What's a quality start? When a starter goes 6 innings and gives up 3 earned runs or less.
What we've seen more often than certainly any time in the last 4 years, maybe in the last 4 years combined, starting pitchers like Phil Hughes 2 days ago, not just going 6, not going 7, but going 8 innings and pitching effectively through 8 innings. Here's Carlos Gomez, and suddenly May's in a heap of trouble with 2 runs already on the board and nobody out. Down low, ball 1. His first outing ever against the Brewers, and the start couldn't go any worse than it already has. Gomez has been bothered by a hip issue. Didn't play yesterday for Milwaukee. There's one back to the mound, and May fires it into left center field. He thought about throwing it to third, he thought about throwing it to second, and he threw it in between.
Wow, big error right there by the pitcher, Trevor May. Yeah, you're taught. You can see he's upset at himself. Well, you're taught when that ball is hit back to you, you turn around and throw to second base. And you want to throw it about chest high. And May's still upset at himself, and Neil Allen's going to come out and try to calm him down. You saw him look at third, but then an off-balance throw. Just threw it right into center field. Braun scores the 3rd run, and both runners advance.
You could see a little bit of a shoulder turn toward third base, and then he tried to, after turning his shoulders, throw to second, and the results weren't very good. Now Neil Allen's got to try to do 2 things. One, calm May down first, in addition to the 4 hits. Now a costly error on the pitcher, trying to keep the damage to a minimum here.
Yeah, quick trip to the mound by Neil Allen. But I can, right now you're looking, that wasn't a bad pitch that Parra hit. A breaking ball down, credit him. We went down to get it, but then Lucroy got that fastball right down the middle. And then Braun, when Suzuki wanted the ball in, you see Suzuki having to reach back over the plate. That ball hit sharply up the middle. And Lind, he's 999 hits now, 1 shy of 1,000. Just took that pitch the other way. That's good hitting.
He's playing the infield back, down 3-1. Still nobody out. And Ramirez takes a ball.
And we mentioned in Minnesota, Ramirez announcing that this will be his last year playing professional baseball, his 18th major league season, his 4th season with the Brewers.
Poke foul, 1-1.
He's had a nice career.
Those numbers aren't very good, but his career numbers are. Kind of been slightly lesser version of Adrian Beltre, who many people think is going to go into the Baseball Hall of Fame when his career is done.
He's 22 doubles from 500, 23 home runs from 400.
A liner that Kluk picks off at his shoe tops for the first out. And now Gene Segura.
Yeah, Brewers having some very good at-bats against Trevor May.
Well, a lot of those pitches that were hit hard here earlier in the inning almost looked like the same pitch over the inside corner about thigh high, and the Brewers have teed off on him.
Well, you know, we've seen May early on. You know, he's almost too pumped up. Every fastball will be pretty straight, and it'll be up in the zone. You have to control down and away. And if you're going to go in, you have to go in off the plate. I don't care if it's the Brewers or it's the Detroit Tigers.
Infield in with 1 out. And low, ball 1. Segura was the leadoff man for the opening game in Minnesota, hitting 7th tonight. Now, May's not particular who makes the out, but if he can get Segura here, now you've got the National League game here with the 8th place hitter and a base open at first, and Kyle Lohse would hit next. So as bad as this inning has been, if May can get Segura and keep runners at second and third, and that won't happen. Poke to right field, and 2 runs will score, and it's 5-1.
Segura picking up his 20th and 21st runs batted in. Taking that pitch the other way. And this ugly inning for Trevor May continues. He's got breaking ball stayed up right there. And Segura right off the end of the bat hits it toward right center. Lynn scores. Gomez scores.
And now Scooter Gennett. Twins made the roster move that involved Byron Buxton, putting him on the disabled list and calling up Danny Santana. It's the other roster move that might come first into play here. Alex Meyer was called up today. He's going to pitch out of the bullpen. There goes Segura, and the throw not in time. A stolen base. And a strike called to Scooter Gennett.
You know, when Joe Mauer was thrown out, we saw that second baseman, shortstop, stay with that tag right here. Suzuki's throw right there. But you saw that Segura actually went off the bag, and Nunez kind of had to go toward, you know, the first base line to get that throw. But Segura, with his 10th stolen base in 11 attempts, gets into scoring position.
Pitch called a strike to Gennett. Squibbed up the line, and that'll barely go foul. Blue just knocked it onto the grass once it spun across the line. Well, almost as if on cue, Alex Meyer, who showed up at the hotel last night to meet the team in a big league uniform for the first time, and here he is in the first inning getting loose.
He met with the media before the ball game, and we did an interview with him through Jamie Hirsch, and basically he said, I'm ready whatever they need me. I don't know if he thought, here in the first inning he's got to get up.
That was the role he played for Rochester, pitching really all over the game. Early innings, middle innings, late innings. As a reliever, pitched very effectively. And 1-2. This has just been a miserable start for May. And unlike anything really that we've seen, he had a 4-inning start where he gave up 6 runs against the Indians back in early May. In 5 1/3 innings, 5 earned runs in his first start of the year on April 13th. This one popped back over the tarp and out of play.
Gennett just getting recalled from AAA. He started with the Brewers at second base. It did not fare well. He hit about 158, was sent out, hit well down in AAA, and since his recall, swinging the bat a lot better. Gennett in his 3rd season with the Brewers. Hit .289 last year in 137 games. But hitting only .198 right now.
Breaking ball. Mauer can't reach it. Segura to third. He'll be held. And the throw coming through. And the Brewers have 6 hits in the first inning out of the first 8 at bats, and Loesch will bat.
Just no bite on that breaking ball right there. We saw Segura hit it into right center, and right here looked like a breaking ball that Jeanette just hit past the diving Mauer at first base. So 6 hits already here in the first inning.
Paul Mahler saying, hey, watch out for the squeeze here. Loesch not much of a hitter in his career. 10 hits, 84 at bats, 31 strikeouts. So this would appear to be a great opportunity for the Brewers to try to squeeze in another run. And Mauer comes home and safe at the plate. Segura beat the tag at 6-1.
That's exactly what happened right there. They put the squeeze on Segura. Didn't go right away. Kind of hesitated, but then that ball hit sharply to Joe Mauer. The quick flip was a little high to Suzuki. And by the time Kurt could put that tag down, Segura, you see him take off with contact, slides underneath the tag of Suzuki. Segura, outstanding speed.
And Trevor May's first outing against the Brewers, an absolute disaster. Now, Paul Molitor got to the line, and then he was stopped by home plate umpire Dan Isanya for some reason. Brief chat. Molitor continues to the mound, and far too early for the Twins. We'll have the Major League debut for Alex Meyer coming up next.
Play Rochester and rookie ball, the Minnesota Twins, wherever. I want to go out there and get people out. It's more fun. If you're getting people out, if you're not where you want to be and you're getting people out, you're still having fun. So that's all I want to do. Wherever I'm at, I just want to get people out.
Alex Meyer about to make his big league debut in the first inning, but not as a starter. Now, this guy is used to being a starting pitcher. He has been his whole life, but he said that he's actually relieved to have been put in the bullpen lately. He said the biggest thing that he lacked this season down at AAA was consistency, so he was all for the move. He also didn't know when this start would come, whether it be tonight, tomorrow, a few days from now, which he said helped with any nerves. One last thing that helped with nerves, guys, Glenn Perkins, the Twins' all-star closer, actually called Alex Meyer to talk to him before he arrived here last night. And Alex Meyer said just hearing advice from a guy like that who also had been moved from a starter to a reliever was all the encouragement he needed.
High fly to right field. Hunter with the catch. And tagging and going to third is Jeanette. And that's the second out of the inning.
We showed you the numbers of Meyer and Trevor May. You know, you're going to have outings like that. I don't care what level you're at, and Trevor May just not his night, but gives Alex Meyer an opportunity to get his feet wet in his major league debut. Yeah, you know what? I heard that interview, and Alex himself kind of said, you know, as a starter, I mean, when I found out I'm working or pitching in 2 or 3 days, I would worry about it. He says, as a reliever, just relax me a little bit. I can just let that ball go. I don't know when I'm going to be out there, but, you know, he's got outstanding stuff. A great fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup. There's a hard slider right there. He's a tall drink of water, 6'9", about 220, so tall and thin, only 25 years old. Of course, Meyer coming over in the Denard Span trade back in November of 2012.
1 strike to Lucroy, who doubled his first time up this inning. Fly ball to right, and Hunter toward the corner ends the inning. Rough inning for Trevor May, but a memory for Alex Meyer. Here in Milwaukee. A year ago, Ron Renicky was given rave reviews for the job he was doing with the Brewers, but then they collapsed. A poor start brought in Craig Counsell, Wisconsin native. Marginally better one-loss record than what they had, but as they found out in Miami, as you look at some of the veterans and the disappointing pitching numbers put together by Garza and Loesch.
Yeah, well, and we see Loesch now. We'll see Matt Garza tomorrow afternoon. But both, you know, they're kind of like the aces of the club, and they just have not pitched well.
Well, they was proven again down in Miami when Mike Redmond was fired and Jennings taken over, and the record's now worse with the new manager than it was with the old manager. Now we'll wait to see what happens in Philadelphia with Ryan Sandberg abruptly resigning today. Former Twin Pete McCannon will manage on an interim basis. 1 strike to Eddie Rosario starting the Twins' second inning. For every mid-season change of managers that works, there are at least 9 that don't work because, of course, it's very rarely the manager's fault.
It's easier to fire 1 than 25. That's what the old baseball saying.
Up and away.
And I'll tell you what, as a player, though, it does, you know, it makes you feel bad. I went through that Texas situation with Frank Lucchese, and we had 5 different managers throughout that year. Finally, they settled on Billy Hunter.
5 managers in 1 year?
Well, interim managers, they kept changing. We had Eddie Stanky for 1 game.
How'd that work out?
Yeah, not too good. I pitched that game. He came out and said, "What are you doing out here?" The next day, he left. I don't know if it's something I said.
2-2 to Rosario. Again, Loesch had a 5-run lead in Minnesota after 3 innings, and the Twins got it all back in 1 inning.
Well, you know what? And it's early. Twins still have 8 innings to hopefully peck away at this 5-run lead. And we told you the numbers on Kyle Loesch coming in: 3 wins, 9 losses, an ERA at 6.3. So this game is far from being over. They just have to continue to have good quality at bats.
Inside now 3-2, and that's the 4th straight full count now that Loesch has had since the Dozier home run.
And remember the first inning, he threw 30 pitches in that first inning.
Full count to Rosario, and popped straight up in the air. A foul ball catch, 1 away. And that'll bring up Suzuki. Loesch 37 pitches, and the 6-run bottom of the inning kind of overshadows the fact that Loesch really struggled. Even though he gave up 1 hit, he threw a lot of pitches in the first inning.
But as a starter, when you have that 5-run lead, now you can even attack more, and that's what I think they want to see out of Kyle Loesch. Get ahead in the count. That first fastball not even close. Loesch originally signed by the Cubs back in 1996 and then traded over to the Twins. A free agent at the end of the year in his 3rd season with the Brewers.
And a strike over the inside corner. If Loesch does not beat the Twins this year in 2 starts, where in each start he was given a 5-run lead, it might be safe to assume he'll never beat the Minnesota Twins. Here's a drive to right, and Braun is there for the catch out number 2. And that'll bring up Nunez. Kurt Suzuki and the Twins invite you to Aloha Night 2015. They have a special offer including field box or skyline deck tickets on Thursday, July 9th, plus a limited edition Kurt Suzuki Hawaiian t-shirt. Portion of the proceeds will benefit All Pono, a youth sports program in Hawaii. Offer available exclusively by visiting twinsbaseball.com/aloha. 5 straight fly ball outs for Loesch, and here is Nunez. At the knees, a strike. Off the plate, 1-1.
Loesch's best years came when he was a member of the St. Louis Cardinals for 5 seasons. He won 55 ball games, only lost 35. Good change up there by Loesch.
Wild swing and a miss by Nunez, 1-2.
Kyle making his 410th major league start. A lot of innings, almost 2,500 innings in his career.
Nunez takes.
Came back with another changeup. 145 major league wins, 137 losses, 12 complete games, 9 shutouts.
Now inside. Full count again. A full count to 5 of the 7 batters. And yet he has not walked a man. And he's just walked Nunez with 2 out.
Oh, he tried a breaking ball right there, missed.
And now Shane Robinson. Robinson getting the start in center field. Paul Molitor said he thought about putting Danny Santana out there. But again, Santana played just 1 game in the outfield. Now this goes back to the beginning of spring training. Santana was exclusively an infielder in spring training with the big league club before his demotion, and he played 1 game down in Rochester as an outfielder. And so probably, I would think, made the right choice by not putting Santana in the game in center field. And Robinson got the start there instead. Alex Meyer in the on-deck circle. There goes Nunez, and he steals a base. The helmet did come off, but he had the comfort level, I guess, of stealing that base about a third of the way through. He patted the helmet back on his head.
Yeah, you got to make sure that you score. You are safe. And Nunez got a great jump. Kyle Loesch really pretty good at holding on runners. That's only the 4th stolen base in 7 attempts. For Nunez, his 2nd in 5 attempts.
2 strikes to Robinson. A hit to the outfield should get the Twins a run closer. And an grounder to first. Nunez left aboard, and Loesch pitches the scoreless 2nd inning. Base hit for Bauer.
We are Wisconsin.
See you later, Ryan Braun. Wow.
Brewers jumping out in front of the Twins after the Twins had jumped out in front 1-0. A 6-run bottom of the first chased Trevor May and brought in Alex Meyer for his major league debut. Outside, ball 1. Meyer came in, got a couple of outfield flies to get the 2nd and 3rd outs of the 6-run first inning.
Yeah, through 4 pitches, all of them strikes, a couple fly ball outs that you mentioned.
1-0 to Ryan Braun, singled his first time up, and now he fouls it back. If you're looking for a comparison of people who've watched baseball for the last 8 to 10 years, might see a little bit of Justin Masterson in Meyer's delivery. Meyer, a taller player. Masterson, I think 6'6", 6'7", and kind of a low 3/4 slinger. A long delivery. I guess that
he's not a short armer, that's for darn sure. He brings that long right arm back, and he does. He kind of winds up. So we take a look at his delivery right there. And you see the velocity.
98 miles per hour.
Good. Gets to that balance point. Not a lot, but right there, lets her fly.
3-1 to Braun. Lind and Gomez will follow.
And control, that's one thing that Meyer had even in the minor leagues, lack of control at times.
You can take your family to the ballpark this summer in the Minnesota Twins, our family section presented by Fox Sports North. Tickets in the alcohol-free section start at just $10 and include a free Schweigert hot dog and Pepsi. For ticket information, visit foxsportsnorth.com. Click on upcoming events on the Hot Topics bar. Here's Lind. Singled his first time up.
Yeah, Lind sitting at 999 career hits. See if he has Masterson's sinker down and away. Maybe you get a double play. That fastball. Saw Suzuki jump for it. And I think that's the biggest thing that I have seen from Myers, even in spring training. He just wants to throw hard and harder. And no control, really, consistent control of that fastball.
1-0. And there goes Braun. And Nunez comes in front of the bag again to make the catch.
A second stolen base of the ballgame for the Brewers. Segura stole second base in the first inning. And Braun, as I mentioned, you don't pay any attention to him, he'll take off. And that's his 8th stolen base in 9 attempts.
1-1 now to Lynn. Two and one. In talking about his control issues as a starter, in his own words, he kind of echoed the old thought in baseball, hey, Babe Ruth is dead, throw strikes, because he said that's really was his biggest issue, trying to, as you said, overanalyze things and not trusting his stuff when in fact all he needs to do is continue to throw it over the plate.
Nice grab by the fan down here that brought his glove, a young man. Yeah, you know what? You look at his minor league numbers, 68. I'm going up until this year, 68 starts in the minor leagues, 337 innings. That's 5 innings a start.
Because of the pitch count.
Because of the pitch count, trying to overthrow, and all of a sudden within 5 innings you're at 100 pitches.
Mauer to Meyer. First out of the inning, and Braun to third base.
And a productive out for Adam Lind, advancing Braun, who stole second, over to third base.
We'll bring up Gomez, who hit a one-hopper back to Trevor May, and May indecisive immediately as to where he wanted to throw the ball. He ended up throwing it into the outfield. And then the Brewers, to their credit, got a couple of hits after that. Squeeze play, and all put up 6 runs.
As a pitcher, Dick, you're going to have outings like Trevor May, but that's probably going to eat at him more than anything, is that ball hit right back at you, you turn and throw to second. There's a little bit of hesitation, which we showed, that he didn't throw right to second right away. He was off balance, and then he winged it into center field.
Strike at the knees to Gomez. There's a nice breaking ball. Gets a swinging strike, too.
That's a nasty breaking ball, not a nice one. That is a nasty breaking ball right there. Gomez thinking right now, please don't throw that again to me. Look at this baby right here. He tried it again, just missed outside. Got that breaking ball at 84 miles an hour.
One and two. Infield in. And it's punched to short right, and it'll drop for a hit. And Myers' leadoff walk cost him his first big league run.
You know, one thing he'll learn up here, too, is that that's a third straight breaking ball, and Gomez, who looked foolish on that first one, took the other one because it was outside. But up here, you're going to keep going away. You'll get exactly what Gomez did right there. This is not a bad breaking ball, but there's no fear factor inside. So Gomez just takes that pitch the other way. That's why you have to work both sides of the plate. Look at him. He lunged out there because he wasn't afraid that he was going to be busted inside.
Here is Ramirez.
And Gomez with that RBI single, driving in his 26th run.
Talked with Neil Allen during spring training. Of course, Allen working with Meyer for the first time in February and March, and I said, what's your biggest challenge here? And you'll be able to see it in his delivery. He'll throw to first.
Let me tell you, I haven't throwing an off-speed pitch.
Well, he was just talking more about mechanics and try to shorten everything up, which is hard to do when you got a pitcher who's 6'9", but you see his arms sweep out, and it's a very long delivery, and they were trying to make everything more compact.
Well, I could see where, because of his quickness toward the mound or toward home plate, it would be hard for him to throw an off-speed pitch unless he throws a split finger or something. What we have seen from Meyer right now, everything is hard.
2-0. Popped up, and Suzuki comes back. It's out of play.
You might get away with that in the minor leagues by just throwing hard, but up here hitters will make the adjustment.
And now 3-1.
Guarantee you his heart is pumping about 200 miles an hour. He is so nervous.
Crushed to left.
Stayed on the same plane, probably 96 miles an hour, but Ramirez hits his 9th home run of the year. His 378th Major League home run. Second home run for the Brewers.
And it's a 9-1 Brewer lead. Here's Segura. And a strike. Segura with a 2-run single, stolen base, and a run scored, and that was just last inning. '97. In off the plate.
Well, that ball was not that far inside, but Segura, you know, just like the Brewers before, they start lunging a little bit. You can see Paul Molitor talking to Neil Allen.
Part of the discussion between Allen and Molitor might be what to do. Meyer's spot in the batting order is due to come up first here in the top of the 3rd inning. 1-2. And there's a strikeout. His first in the big leagues, the second out of the inning.
Yeah, first major league strikeout right there for Alex Meyer. Let's go back to Gomez's at bat. Now, the first pitch was a fastball that he threw over for a strike. And then the nasty breaking ball had some good bite on it. Then he tried it again, but was way outside. So the Gomez thinking, okay, left it up a little bit. He just punched it softly into right field for the RBI single. That's where that you talk about Masterson. One thing Masterson does so well, he really busts that ball in on right-handers.
Pitch low to Jeanette. Been many games like this where the starting pitching has been so uncompetitive. I mentioned it's a big road trip for the Twins, a road trip that'll take them roughly to the midpoint of the season. And it's been a great first half, but this is not how anybody in the visiting dugout or clubhouse wanted to get the road trip started. 2-1. Danny Santana, he might get ready to pinch hit in the top of the 3rd. center field. Gone. A home run for Jeanette.
Doesn't matter how hard you throw it, that ball is right down the middle of the plate. This is the big leagues. And I think Alex Meyer is finding that out. Jeanette with his 4th home run of the year.
Got a lot of relatives that made the drive from Indiana to be here tonight, and I don't know that they imagine Alex will get it in so quickly. But while he did a good job wrapping up the first inning, he's getting hit hard here in the second inning. A strike to Loesch, who now is in the game with a 9-run lead. One and one. On the outside corner.
Alex Meyer, Washington Nationals #1 pick back in 2011. Finishes first full inning, but a learning experience for the young man.
You're watching this Twins and Brewers series on Fox Sports North, presented by North Dakota Tourism.
What a start for Loesch. Back-to-back strikeouts. He's got 3 already.
Kyle Loesch was a good pitcher during some really good years for the Twins. Been a disappointing year for him this year, but very often he's been handed a 10-1 lead after 2 innings.
Sometimes when you struggle, you need games like this to get you going again. And we showed you the numbers of Kyle Loesch, the frustration he's had it here at home at Miller Park this year. But maybe take a deep breath. I don't care how many starts you have at the major league level. You need games like this. Hopefully it gets you back into a good groove.
Danny Santana's return to the lineup comes as a pinch hitter here in the 3rd inning. Santana struggled at the start of the year because of those numbers. He was sent down to Rochester, hit better. Last few games didn't go as well. Tuesday night, as Paul Molitor put it to me, they were just trying to protect themselves by putting Santana in the outfield and center field, and wouldn't you know it, that was the night Byron Buxton ended up injuring his thumb that put him on the disabled list today. So from that standpoint, it was good they put Santana out there, because now he's called up to replace a center fielder. There's a ball hit to right, and Braun hardly has to move. Santana retired one away. Carsoup.com trivia question, and they changed it because I got a preview of it and I absolutely nailed it, and so now they changed it. Before tonight, when was the last time in a Twins game that both teams hit a leadoff home run? I know the answer.
Oh, did you see that too?
I saw that, and I'll wait till we answer it.
Well, no wonder we've never missed any.
Here's Dozier. Seems like a week ago, but Dozier started the game with a home run tonight.
Yeah, for Brian, his 15th home run of the year, and again, the 4th time he has started a game off this year with a home run. 11 in his career.
Dozier now with the home run is placed in a tie for 8th in the American League in home runs. 2-1. There goes another one to the corner. Foul by just a little bit.
Yeah, almost another double for Brian, who has 23, one behind Jason Kipnis for the most doubles in the American League. And he came into the game tied for most runs with Josh Donaldson. Scored 56 times. All-star year for Brian Dozier. Hopefully he will make that all-star team. He's got my vote.
But you don't have one. Neither do I. Well, you got 35 of them.
Yeah.
Just like everybody else.
Right.
Up high now, 3-2.
Well, you have to go 5 innings to qualify for a win.
The biggest issue for Loesch might be the pitch count.
And there's probably about 4 or 5 relievers down there saying, I can get loose in 5 pitches.
Foul back. And he's only given up 1 hit, and it was the Dozier home run, but he's had a lot of deep counts. Inexplicably walked Nunez.
This will be pitch number 60. Trying to get the second out here in the 3rd inning.
And he had a 5-run lead until the 5th inning in Minnesota, and the Twins erupted for 5 runs to tie the game and knock him out. That's hit hard to center. Gomez going back. Makes the catch on the track. 2 down. Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by North Dakota Tourism. North Dakota, legendary. 2 down. That'll bring up Torrey Hunter.
You know, we were in Texas and we talk about that channel out toward their bullpen in right center. And they say here in Milwaukee, if you can hit it, say where Jeanette hit it, that ball flies out there toward right center. And even Dozier looked like he got underneath that ball, but Gomez had to go all the way to the wall to catch it.
2 hopper to short. Segura's there. And the inning ends. Loesch with a 1-2-3 3rd inning. your link to what's next by NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here.
Rough start for the Twins, third inning, and they're on their third pitcher. Alex Meyer taken out. And now Brian Dunsing will probably be asked, I suspect, to pitch a couple innings here.
You know, might be the best outing right here for Brian Dunsing just to get some innings in. You can see the 15 1/3 innings. This is his 27th relief appearance. A lot of times he's been brought in to maybe face one or two batters. You know, sometimes you have to stretch it out, and hopefully Brian can get maybe 3 or 4 innings in here.
First pitch lifted down the left field line, and it's chased by Rosario, but it's back in the seats.
Only a couple times this year Brian has worked his longest an inning and a third. And I think we've seen over the years Brian is a guy that can go 2, 3, sometimes 4 innings. Former starter.
One strike to Parra. And that in the dirt. In Dunsing's last 3 outings, he's gone at least an inning. But you're right, for a long time, he was asked to just get 1 out. And Aaron Thompson's had a rough patch here in the month of June. And if Dunsing can get back to where he's been the last few years, could easily see the way Thompson struggled, those two pitchers switch roles.
Yeah, he's been so durable over the last couple of years. 73 relief appearances a couple years ago, 62 last year. But he's just been missing this year as far as a location. Brian with 10 walks in 15 1/3 innings. Now 2 intentional and 9 strikeouts.
Fouled away, 3-2. Parra answered the Twins' leadoff home run by Brian Dozier with one of his own off the glove of Shane Robinson in center field.
Most pitches Brian has thrown in an outing, 20. So he's going to be asked to do a little bit more here.
And the Twins are carrying 13 pitchers. They're different pitchers. Myers here and Michael Tonkin's not. But they only have 4 bench players, and they've already used one of those in a pinch hitting spot. So important for Dunsing to pitch a couple of innings, hopefully effective innings.
And work out some of those kinks.
3-2 to his first batter. Down the line, and Rosario retreats to the corner and makes a fair ball catch, 1 away. That'll bring up Lucroy. But first, Tuesday, the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup semifinals begin as Alex Morgan and Team USA take on Germany with a trip to the final on the line. Coverage begins Tuesday at 5 Central only on your local Fox station and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. The U.S. team defeated China 1-0, a game that just ended.
Congratulations, U.S.
1 down, and now Lucroy. Outside a ball. Busted bat and a bouncer to second. 2 down.
Now Brewers with 9 hits in the ball game. Everybody has a hit except the pitcher Kyle Loesch, but he had that squeeze, an RBI in the first inning.
Ryan Braun with a single, a walk, 2-run scored, a stolen base. Down the right field line, but foul. It's been a newsworthy day for the Twins with the roster moves, and most of the news not good. Byron Buxton on the disabled list. Twins don't expect him back from 4 to 6 weeks. And also, Paul Molitor said discouraging news on Ricky Nolasco. The Twins had him fitted with an orthotic on his right foot in hopes that the orthotic would relieve some of the pain that Nolasco experiences pushing off the rubber. And he tried to throw some today, and it did not go well at all. The pain's still there. Twins are kind of back to square one with Nolasco. And this is a road trip that begins here in Milwaukee on June 26th. It ends July 5th in Kansas City, when it's expected that Irvin Santana will make his Twins debut in the final game of this road trip.
Yeah, that's scheduled for Sunday in Kansas City.
Santana pitched last night reasonably well. 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, a couple of home runs.
Yeah, they came early in the ball game, then he settled down nicely.
He'll have one more rehab start. Low, and another 3-ball count, and then he will. And I would imagine that the Twins will let him get some work in, and he might be brought back to like 60-70 pitches rather than extended. Make sure he's ready to go on Sunday, but of course that depends on how things go and everything. Physically, everything is fine, and the Twins will get their first look at him in a Twins uniform.
Good fastball away right there by Dunsing. Dunsing in his 7th season with the Twins, 32 years old now. Signed by the Twins in 2005. With a lot of spot starting when he first joined the Twins.
Breaking ball got him.
Good inning.
And a 1-2-3 third for Brian Dunsing. You're watching this Twins and Brewers series on Fox Sports North, presented by North Dakota Tourism. Reminded of our good friend and professional cohort Jack Morris, who said he'd always tell his Tiger teammates, hey boys, get me 10 runs because I'm undefeated when you get me 10 runs. Here's Mauer. He'll be followed by Plouffe and Rosario. Something, not to bring up a bad memory, although I think you were on the other side at the time, something that Frank Viola could never say. The great collapse of 1984, the Twins had a similar lead against the Cleveland Indians with a future Cy Young Award winner on the mound. and the Twins lost the game to the Cleveland Indians, of which I think you were a part, right?
Yep. I didn't pitch in that ball game, but I watched it. Couldn't believe it.
2-1 to Mauer. Driven to the corner, but it's twisting foul. Check some news and notes from around the league. Former Brewer Prince Fielder with his 300th career home run. Max Scherzer had a perfect game going into the 6th inning again tonight.
Well, he's been red hot, hasn't he?
That's like 3 unbelievable starts in a row.
And Edwin Encarnacion a couple home runs. Toronto, they can put some runs on the board.
He finally won a 1-0 ball game the other day in extra innings, and who hit the home run but Chris Colabello. Leadoff single for Mauer in the 4th. That'll bring up Plouffe.
The Twins just get their 2nd hit off of Kyle Oesch.
Plouffe with a pop-up to second base to end the 1st inning. Ball 1. Rifle to right field. Now around second, he'll go to third. The Twins get a pair of singles here to start the 4th inning. And now Rosario. This is what happened to Loesch in the middle innings in Minnesota. It was in the 5th inning. They started with the inning with a couple of singles. Mauer hit a 3-run home run. They added 2 more runs.
Yeah, the ball came right back in the swing for Trevor. Hit it into right field. Mauer hustling over to third.
And now Rosario. He fouled out to Ramirez his first time up. Fastball. It's a swing and a miss.
It's not an overpowering fastball at 90 miles an hour for Loesch. Always been pretty healthy throughout his career.
On the outside corner 0-2. Well, the Brewers would like nothing better than for Loesch to start pitching well. He's in the last year of his deal. And this is a lost season for Milwaukee. And if in their ineptitude this year they can trade some veterans for some prospects in the next 5 weeks or so, I think that would offer some consolation. Tapper to short, and they'll get 1, and that's it. The ball gets away from the first baseman, Lind.
They hit the screening in front of the dugouts now and stays in play. So Rosario has to stay at first, but Rosario picks up an RBI, his 17th of the year. Ball not hit hard enough to turn the double play. Plouffe is a force out at second base for the first out, but Rosario at first as Joe Mauer scores.
Suzuki with a fly to right his first time up. Fox Tracks presented by Ram. Low for ball 1.
Suzuki's been swinging a better bat as of late. Nice last homestand. Hitting .333, 7 hits and 21 at bats. In that 8-game homestand for the Twins.
Bouncer to short, see if they can turn 2 here. Quick turn, a throw off line. And Jeanette had Rosario in the vicinity, but he sailed a throw, and it's a failed double play opportunity.
Yeah, again, that ball not hit real hard, but, you know, good turn, and credit for Rosario going in hard into second base. Segura flipping it over to. He got his foot in there. That probably should have been a better throw. Probably should have been a double play.
Nunez will bat. Nunez walked, stole a base in the second inning. Foul to the screen. Checked his swing, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Loesch's best season, I think, in 2012, when he was his last year with the Cardinals, was 16-3 in 33 starts, a 2.86 earned run average. Worked a career high 211 innings.
Got a World Series ring. The Cardinals beat the Rangers in 2011. He made one start, didn't go particularly well, only pitched 3 innings, gave up 3 earned runs, couple of home runs, 5 hits, 2 walks. But the Cardinals won.
Yeah, and you know what? After that year, he signed that 3-year contract here, which is up at the end of the year. But last couple of years, he's given them almost 200 innings each season. And in today's mark of a starting pitcher, if you can get 3 or 4 guys in your rotation, that's why they're hoping that Garza and Loesch would be the innings bearers, I guess, of the starting staff, and it just hasn't panned out yet.
Eduardo Nunez is not the easiest guy in the world to walk, and Loesch is in danger of walking him twice.
Nunez on the season has walked only now 6 times in 86 plate appearances.
Foul back.
But as I mentioned, Kyle, really throughout his career, I mean, control has never really been an issue. He's a guy that'll walk about 2.5 batters per 9 innings.
And Nunez strikes out to end the inning. The Twins start the inning with a pair of hits and get a run back on the board.
Ball in this city is important to me. I feel a responsibility for it.
Being connected to the Twins organization as a player, as a coach, and now having an opportunity to manage is pretty special for me. Six
first-year managers, 7 counting the Paul Molitor, and see what the record has been. 7 counting Dan Jennings, who took over after the season started.
Right, but you look at Tampa Bay and really Minnesota. I mean, I don't know if people expected Minnesota to be where they're at right now, just behind the Royals. But Kevin Cash has done a great job at Tampa Bay. I mean, they've depleted a lot of their system, but, I mean, as far as major league players, but they keep bringing up good pitching.
A.J. Hinch done a great job with Houston. There have been 4 managerial changes within the season, not even at the halfway point. And today, Ryan Sandberg stepping down, the 4th mid-season managerial change. Buddy Black no longer in San Diego. Ron Renicky no longer here. Mike Redmond no longer in Miami. No interim tag on Craig Counsell. They let him finish out this year and then signed him to a multi-year deal.
3-year contract.
1-2. Somebody asked Paul Molitor what it was like to be managing against Counsell, somebody who Molitor, who has known literally since Counsell was a little boy. Craig's dad worked for the Brewers for many years. The ball looped to right center field over the head of Dozier.
And I believe that is hit number 1,000 for Adam Lind in his career.
Probably take the ball out of play here. And congratulations to Adam Lind. It's a lot of hits.
Yes, it
for
is.
A number of different teams.
Yeah, 9 seasons with the Blue Jays in his first season with the Brewers.
And it's a leadoff single here in the 4th. Anyway, Molitor said, all I know about Craig Counsell is I'm 1-2 against him as a manager. And it looks like it might go to 1-3 after tonight's game. Outside to Gomez. Reached on an error, come back here to the mound that May threw into center field. And then Gomez with an RBI single in the 2nd. Punched a base hit to right on a Alex Meyer breaking ball. Chopper to short, and Nunez goes the short way. Nice play by Nunez.
Yeah, very nice play.
Throwing behind his body. Craig Counsell talked about his managerial experience against Paul Molitor.
I mean, I've known Paul since I was a kid. I mean, I used to go to his house when I was, he was playing, and my dad worked for the Brewers, and our families were actually pretty close. So I spent a lot of time with him, and it's kind of a cool weekend for me just to know that he's in the other dugout.
And Lynn getting high fives from his manager for the 1,000th hit. Here's Ramirez.
I think we mentioned before that Greg Counsell's father, John, actually played in the Twins system for 4 seasons, was an outfielder.
And he started in the Twins system right after you were promoted to the major leagues, right? Wasn't it in the early 70s, I believe?
Yeah, he was there. He's with 1964 to 67. So that was
he was before you, right?
Yeah, I signed in 1969.
1-1. Similarly, contending teams who have a need for a third baseman might be interested in getting Ramirez if he can show something here in the next few weeks.
They have the notes here, and all-time Major League Baseball leaders at third base, of course, Mike Schmidt, Eddie Matthews, Chipper Jones, Adrian Beltre, and Ramirez. He's 5th on the all-time list. 373 career home runs as a third baseman.
Got a piece of Suzuki, a foul tip. Now, you had Eddie Matthews in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
486. Mike Schmidt leading with 509. This is as a third baseman, not a designated hitter or other position.
It's got to still be the case. Third base is the least represented position in the Hall of Fame.
Well, Chipper Jones will be there. Adrian Beltre. One day will probably be there.
1-2 to Ramirez. In the dirt. Nice block by Suzuki. 2-2.
The Twins hoping that Brian Dunsing gets through this inning. He comes up second in the bottom of the inning. Excuse me, the top of the fifth.
2-2. Double play grounder.
All right, turn it.
1-2. Dunsing's done a nice job. He's gotten 6 outs from 6 batters on a night when, before he entered the game, outs were hard to come by. Fans of the game hoping that the rest of the series turns out better than the first 4 innings did. Kyle Loesch delivers strike 1 to Shane Robinson. Kenny Vargas is in the on deck circle. He'll hit for.
I was hoping Brian would hit.
Really?
Well, I mean, he went 2 innings, which is good. I just think, with this game being lopsided, you'd like for him to kind of stretch it out a little bit.
2 strikes to Robinson.
Plus, Brian's 0 for 6 as a hitter. He's got a chance to get his first major league hit.
Yesterday was the last off day for the Twins until the All-Star break. Starting a long road trip of 10 games, then a 7-game homestand afterwards. So, Twins with 13 pitchers. The pop-up left side should be handled by Ramirez. And so, how does this string of 17 games in 17 games in 17 days start? With a very short start, a third of an inning for the starting pitcher. And so by National League rules, you have the pitcher spot come up, and it is going to be Dunsing who will hit, since Robinson did not reach.
There you go. All right,
is called back, and Dunsing will have a chance for his first big league hit.
0 for 6 with 4 punch-outs. We need contact. This is why I feel that the National League should go to the designated hitter.
It'll never happen. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. There's a grounder on 2 outs. Sharply hit to Lynn, who turns in a nice fielding play for out number 2. No, you're right. I mean, this is. And this is June. We're going to see it in October in the World Series, where pitchers are going to be expected to hit in the American League, having not done so in some cases perhaps from their whole career. 2 down in the 5th, and now Brian Dozier. Ball 1. Dozier started the game with a home run to left, his 15th of the year. The Twins, far too briefly, had a 1-0 lead in this game. I misunderstood what you were going to say about the different rules, American League, National League.
See Dunsing saying, hey, I made contact.
That isn't so tough. And Dozier, third time he stung the ball in the game. He lined out to center field in his second at bat. A 2-out single for Dozier. Because they'll never go back the other way. They'll never bring National League rules back into the American League. It just seems commonsensical to just let's play by the same rules.
Right. I agree. And you know, designated hitter, I mean, it's given players that even guys like Paul Molitor the opportunity to prolong his career when, you know, maybe he wouldn't have been able to keep playing if he didn't have a position. Edgar Martinez, you know, Harold Baines. There's a lot of great ones. Frank Thomas who's in the Hall of Fame. Basically most of his career as a designated hitter.
And now Prince Fielder, we mentioned his name before when we saw the Rangers. He's only a DH now. One and 0. Not sure where Loesch thinks Dozier's going, down by 8 runs, but
get up over his head.
Nice catch by Jeanette.
Timed his leap perfectly.
Hunter with a liner to end the inning. You're watching this Twins and Brewers series on Fox Sports North, presented by North Dakota Tourism.
If that's the same day you have, it's leap year next year too. And Twin fans, don't forget at Twin home games to bring your Circle Me signs. And if you get circled, you may find yourself in a Minnesota Lottery's winner circle, where you could win $100 worth of lottery scratch-off tickets, courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery. Like a catch. You see Dunsing right there? Field that ball.
Since you mentioned leap year, you do know that I was born during a leap year on March 1st. And had I been born hours before, this whole business of you making a big deal about your birthday would be a little offensive to me, because I would only be able to celebrate once every 4 years.
Yeah, and you'd only be like 20 years old.
No, I wouldn't even be 20. I would not have had my 20th.
You're not 80 already?
I'm not 80. Although, a few more 6-run first innings will get me there.
How about that? It wasn't a leap year when you were born.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it was a leap year. By hours, I just missed having a birthday once every 4 years.
Well, what happens to people that are actually born, on February 29th? Do they only celebrate a birthday?
I'm sure.
Do they do it the 28th? Do they do it March 1st?
I'm sure somebody.
Do they not do it?
Somebody on Twitter can probably respond to
sure
you or
I'll
me.
probably get it. Yeah.
1-1. Little pop-up, short center. Nunez out. Robinson in, and Nunez with the catch. Nicely done, 2 down. Join us July 7th for Celebrate Diversity Day, presented by Prairie Island Indian Community. The first 10,000 fans get a Twins drawstring backpack, courtesy of Treasure Island Resort and Casino. You can go to twinsbaseball.com/tickets and get your tickets today.
I said when Brian Dunsing comes in, I hope he can get 2 or 3 or maybe 4 innings in, and maybe this is a turning point for Brian, because sometimes when you're only asked to get 1 or 2 outs here or there, you don't get to stretch it out. Well, Brian's been able to stretch it out. He's retired 8 batters in a row. I mean, there was a base hit, but a double play. Right now, the count, 31 pitches, 19 for strikes. He's got a strikeout.
8 batters, 8 outs. Of course, he's had a couple of ugly outings. And when you're only pitching a third of an inning at a time, it would take literally forever to get your numbers lined up properly. But now here he has a chance to at least go 3 scoreless innings and bring the inflated, puffy numbers down a little bit. And Loesch drives one to center, but right at Robinson.
All right, another good inning.
1, 2, 3 inning for Brian Dunsing. Lead, and with that, let's take a listen to our Medica sounds of the game. 2-1 to Dozier, and a blast to left, deep and gone into the second deck. Team very well represented here in Milwaukee.
And Brian Dozier does it again, another extra base hit.
And for a very brief time, this road trip, this series got off to a very good start. And then the Brewers came back with a leadoff home run of their own and 6 runs, knocking out Trevor May after 1/3 of an inning. Joe Mauer to lead off the 6th with a fly ball to left, and Singleton scored in the 4th. Outside, ball 1.
Joe has 1 of the 4 hits for the Twins. He singled to lead off the 4th, later scored.
Fouled back. Joe told me before the game today he loves to hit in this ballpark. He said it didn't make a whole lot of difference whether the roof was open or closed. They closed the roof here half hour, 45 minutes before game time. But he says he loves the way the ball carries here. There's a huge batter's eye out there in center field. And every time I first walk in here, it happened to me again today, I walked out onto the field and took a look at the field and the big scoreboard out there. And right about where Joe Mauer's nose is on the scoreboard out in straightaway center field, that's where Justin Morneau hit a smash.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I've never seen a ball hit that far in that direction when you consider that the fence itself is 400 feet from home plate. And Mauer tattoos one into center, a leadoff single again in the 6th. Tomorrow, baseball night in America returns. The Cubs renew their rivalry with the Cardinals. Coverage beginning at 6 p.m. Central on Fox and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. We are on in the afternoon tomorrow. We've got a couple of 1 o'clock games here, and our hope is for sunny skies and an open ballpark.
Yep. You know, while you were checking out the field, Dan Gladden, Corey Provis, and Hammer, we went up and we did the Bernie's dugout. We went down the slide.
All of you did?
Yeah. Yeah. I did it 3 times.
Seriously?
Yeah. If you went to Disneyland or Disney World, that's like an e-ticket.
Fouled back and out of play.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming you were escorted out there, and there was a chaperone.
Yeah, we had to sign a letter and everything of, you know, if in case we get hurt. But we went down that Bernie slide. Pretty cool. I have video of it.
Well, we're
of my feet.
We're in a visual medium here.
Mm-hmm.
We have access to it. Can we put it on TV at some point?
So it's on my phone.
Here's Plouffe with a drive to left center field and deep. Go ahead, go out there and go on the slide.
I would do it right now.
And it's a 10-4 ball game.
And for Trevor Plouffe, his 10th home run of the year. Second home run for the Twins. And for Trevor, his first home run since June 10th when he hit one at home against the Kansas City Royals. He got a Kyle Loesch fastball, got underneath it, and hit it to straightaway center, little left center. Man, he got all of that. Wow. I don't see Bernie Brewer coming down off that slide now.
TC's here.
Yeah.
I suppose Brewers wouldn't let the Twins mascot go down the slide. Rosario is 0 for 2. He did drive in a run with a ground ball in the 4th. The center, and Gomez over in the gap makes the catch. 1-1.
Kyle Loesch trying to get through his 6th inning. I mentioned before, he is winless in his last 7 starts. His last win coming in New York against the Mets when he pitched 2-hit shutout for 8 innings against the Mets. Has a 10-4 lead.
Suzuki with a fly ball and a ground ball, reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. Strike on the outside corner. 2-2. Tigers beat the White Sox 5-4 tonight. Twins hoping to make a game of it here. They're running out of outs.
Yeah, Loesch had 103 pitches, the most he's thrown in a ball game back in late April against the Reds. 116.
Said when Loesch pitched against the Twins in Minnesota. Here's how old he is to put it in perspective. The Twins got him for Rick Aguilera. Popped up back and out of play.
So you're calling Aggie old?
No. In fact, I was going to compliment him if you'd just given me enough time.
Okay.
We see him at the fantasy camp, and he looks.
Try to work out of it because he will see you at the fantasy camp, and he may pitch against you.
He looks like he could still pitch. He looks grayer, but he still is in great shape. How about that?
Wow.
That'll keep me out of kangaroo court.
Well, you're dealing with a judge here.
Suzuki strikes out, 2 down.
And only the second strikeout for Loesch.
And that'll bring up Nunez. And for Loesch, his ascension through the Twins minor league system wasn't real smooth. The Twins got him, and he spent 1999 at 3 different levels: low A, high A, and double A. And then in 2000, this seems incredible. This is double A for the Twins. Kyle Loesch toted an ERA of 6.04, and his record was 3-18. Here's a deep drive to left center field off the bat of Nunez, and Gomez makes the catch on the warning track. Gomez with the catch for out number 3. Nunez just missed the second home run of the inning. Trevor Plouffe did hit one, and it's a 10-4 ball game.
Is presented by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's. Try the new 100% sirloin third-pound burgers, starting at $4.99 at McDonald's.
Aaron Thompson into the game for the Twins after Brian Dunston got 9 outs from 9 batters.
Yeah, you know, Dunsing needed that little extra work. So does this guy right here, Aaron Thompson. You know, he has struggled as of late over his last couple starts. Only a third of an inning combined, 5 hits and 5 earned runs. One of those coming against the Cubs where he did not get an out. Ended up giving 3 hits, 4 runs, and then he last worked on Tuesday against the White Sox, a third of an inning, a couple hits, only 1 earned run. 2 left-handers out of that bullpen besides Perkins. They're really, hopefully, Dunsing did a good job. Hopefully Aaron Thompson can maybe pitch an inning or 2.
Breaking ball, and Parra overreacts to a second strike being called.
Well, he's saying ask for help down that third baseline.
That was just strike 2. Imagine what happens if he gets called out on strike 3.
Imagine if it's a 1-1 ball game. It's a 10-4 ball game.
They called not location, but that he went. Good drive to center, and Robinson with room to make the catch.
And he'll go back being upset at that one call, even though he got a pitch to drive. Hitters.
You never did like hitters, did you? You can fill out your 2015 insurance MLB All-Star Game ballot now at twinsbaseball.com. Voting is exclusively online and available on your computer. You can vote up to 35 times at twinsbaseball.com. We will get on Monday the updated American League voting totals, and the hope is, well, no Twin is going to get voted in. So you hope that Brian Dozier is selected, but the best thing that can happen for Dozier, and probably a handful of other players, not just with the Twins but around the American League, is that the voting isn't as skewed in its final tally regarding the number of Royals. It really is going to make it a challenge if the voting holds consistent as it's been, and if there are 7 Royals that are voted on, they're going to be Kansas City Royals who aren't going to be on the All-Star team.
As you mentioned, a guy like Wade Davis.
Yes.
Yep.
How are you going to put them on if the Royals, if every team has to be represented? And I'm a big believer in that. I think every team should be represented.
I agree.
So if you have to accommodate the other 14 teams in the league, how do you then go back and pick even more Royals for the All-Star team? At any rate, vote. It's too early to, or too late to vote early, but vote often.
Well, it'll be Ned Yost as a manager.
He'll be managing a lot of his same guys. Here's a drive to right. Hunter retreating to the corner, and room to make the catch out number 2. And that'll bring up Ryan Braun. And then, of course, long term, because there's significance to the game itself. If the Royals were to make a return trip to the World Series, and the National League won in part because, I hate to pick on him because it's not his fault, Omar Infante, if he's a starting second baseman, right now he's about the 14th best second baseman in the American League. And if the American League loses because someone who has no business being there is there.
But again, Dick, it's a fans' game. They have the right to vote for who they feel they should go in, whether it's biased or not.
But you'd like to think, because the game's important to me. I've enjoyed it, and I know I'm in the minority, but I love the game. I've taken my family.
Well, we know you love the game.
But, I mean, I've taken my family to All-Star games when, most announcers who work a full schedule, the last thing they do is go to a baseball game.
It's just too bad the game isn't in Kansas City.
It was a few years ago, and Billy Butler was their only representative.
Right. Well, they're going to make up for that.
1-1 to Braun. I really cringe at what it's going to do to the game. The game itself, and some very unworthy. And I guess my message to the fans is be a baseball fan rather than just a Kansas City fan. Vote the right people in to right field, and Braun will have an extra base hit. It is a double with 2 outs in the 6th.
Yeah, Braun picking up his second hit on his 10th double of the year, an RBI single in that 6-run first inning. This comes with 2 outs.
And now Adam Lind has 2 hits tonight. Hits number 999 and 1,000 of his big league career. Up, ball 1.
I guess that's why you look at 3,000 hits as such a great landmark. I mean, here's a good hitter right here. Adam Lind had some good years with the Blue Jays. 10 years now in the big leagues. He has 1,000 hits. Start breaking it down to where, say, 3,000 hits for 20 years, you have to get at least 150 hits a year. That's a lot of hits.
Where's your calculator? Where did you do that work?
Just on the top of my head. And if he got 200 hits a year for 20 years like Pete Rose did, it's over 4,000. Well, it is 4, but he had over 4. Unbelievable.
One and one to Lynn.
That man had over 3,000. Pure hitter from the day he came up with the Brewers back in 1978. Spent 15 years here in a Brewers uniform. Represented that Brewer logo, the number, with a lot of pride.
Snap bat and a bouncer to short. Nunez with an off-balance throw, and Mauer's able to make the pick at first. In Kansas City, nearly 20 years ago, history was made.
Has his 3,000th hit, and he's in with a triple. Paul Molitor becomes the 20th.
The game and a lot of home runs.
Yeah, Brian Dozier started the Twins offense with a home run. First batter that Kyle Loesch faced, but the Royals come right back. Parra with a leadoff home run in the bottom of the first inning. And Ramirez with a 2-run home run. That coming in the second inning off of Alex Meyer. And then a couple batters later, Jeanette with his 4th home run of the year, a solo home run. But the Twins, Trevor Plouffe, a big 2-run home run in the 6th inning, his 10th of the year. But the Brewers still have a 10-4 lead.
Neil Cott's in the game for the Brewers. He'll face Shane Robinson, then Kenny Vargas, and Brian Dozier.
Yeah, one of 2 lefties out of that bullpen. Will Smith is active now. He was not active when the Brewers were in Minnesota. He was on suspended, but Cott's making his 30th relief appearance, 29 1/3 innings. He's walked 10, 1 intentional, 32 strikeouts. He's given up 30 hits.
Fouled back. Smith suspended when the games were in Minnesota because he got caught having some goo on his arm.
Unbelievable.
You can't have goo on your arm.
You just can't have fun anymore. Everything for the hitters.
Jason Rogers is at first base for the Brewers. Two strikes to Robinson. And a chopper to Ramirez. One down. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand in true HD with MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. MLB.TV Premium includes a free At-Bat 15 subscription. Watch live baseball on over 400 mobile and connected devices. You can watch at home. You can watch in the office, on the go, every night, every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. You know, one of the great things that's already impacted my house, maybe yours as well, when the Twins are more interesting, when they are more competitive, that makes everybody else's games more competitive. I found myself generally watching much more baseball than I have the last 4 years, because now suddenly the Tiger White Sox game is interesting to me, more so than it was at any time in the last 4 years.
You know, and then even you walk around town and you get to talk to people, and people want to know how the Twins are doing. They're more interested, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing for the community.
Vargas takes down and in.
And hopefully it's a good thing for the Timberwolves after signing their number one pick, Karl Anthony Towns. Good luck to him and the Wolves.
Tyus Jones will start his professional career at home. Tough week for Vargas with games in National League cities, no designated hitter, and he won't get many opportunities, one wouldn't think, to start. So a pinch hitting importance is important, and he takes a called third strike.
Yeah, he took a fastball right down the middle for strike 3. So Cox comes in and gets a strikeout, his second out of the inning.
2 down in the 7th, and Brian Dozier will bat. Just one other note regarding the All-Star game. We were talking about that the last half inning, and if it comes to fruition, if the Royals dominate the starting lineup, the All-Star game, regardless of what happens in the game, it will be remembered as the game where that happened, where the Royals fans, there's another liner, and Dozier has stung the ball 4 times today. He's got 3 hits, 2-out single here in the 7th, and a big turn at first. He'll be held to a single.
You like that. I don't care what the score is, you hustle, and that's what Brian Dozier did right there. If that ball got past Jeanette at second base, he scoots in.
And I bring that thought up now with Torrey Hunter coming to the plate. Something great will happen in the All-Star game this year, maybe more than one thing, but it'll probably be remembered as the year the balloting was stuffed by Kansas City fans. When the All-Star game was played here in 2002, what everyone remembers about the game is that it finished in a tie, not the fact that perhaps the greatest catch made in All-Star game history was turned in the first inning by that man.
Yep.
Robbed Barry Bonds of an All-Star game home run.
And Barry Bonds picking up Torrey Hunter right around the middle of the field.
But when you think about the All-Star game here, what's the first image you have? The commissioner shrugging his shoulders, saying, okay, yeah, we'll just call it a tie. And that's unfortunate.
Well, I still remember the catch by Torrey and Ichiro. You know, Torrey was playing center, Ichiro was playing right, and the look on Ichiro's face after Torrey leaped and caught that ball was, wow, nice catch.
Torrey's comment was he didn't know Ichiro knew any English, particularly the words he used.
I said nice catch.
1 strike to Hunter, and now 2 strikes.
Well, Neil Kotz, he's 35 years old, his first season with the Brewers. Pitched for the White Sox, the Cubs, a lot of time in Chicago. Last couple of years with the Rangers. Signed as a free agent, a 1-year contract over the winter by the Brewers.
And now 1-2. Winner hit the ball hard as last time. Jeanette climbed the ladder to take down a line drive to end the 5th. Foul tip. LaCroix hangs on. The Twins are done in the 7th, down by 6. All right, thank you, my friend. It's 10-4, and Carlos Gomez will face J.R. Graham.
Yeah, J.R. Graham, last time he faced Milwaukee, he started it against them back on June 6th, pitched 4 very good innings in his only major league start, making his 20th appearance of the year, out of the 19 out of the bullpen, then that one start. You got a no decision. Twins ended up losing that ball game 4-2, but so 4 good innings by Graham.
Up high.
And that's what we've seen from JR recently. He'll come out of that bullpen, everything up in the zone.
Overall, you look at the numbers, and they're all pretty good except for the home runs allowed. 6 of them in 31 2/3 innings, and Gomez tried to hit number 7 there. There's something obviously to work with there. The hit's a little bit high, but
I think the big thing, Dick, and I don't mean to interrupt you there, is just location of the fastball. You just get some fastballs up from time to time.
And I was going to relate what his issue has been, as you succinctly put it, to Alex Meyer tonight. Kind of the same thing, don't you think?
Right, I agree. Better control of the fastball. Everything keys off the fastball. We saw some nasty sliders from Meyer, but we never saw the consistency of the fastball. We see, I know when Meyer was out there, Suzuki, how many times did he leap for the ball because it was out of the strike zone?
And nowhere near the target.
Right. So those are things you have to do at this level. You have to be able to control your fastball. When your catcher sits away, if you miss away. Catcher sits inside, you miss in.
Twins fans I know have been clamoring for more live arms, mid-90s fastballs and all that. We're seeing here that velocity really doesn't matter if you can't locate it.
Right, exactly.
Down and away, 3-2.
Too many pitches in a short amount of time, too. Graham last worked on Monday against the White Sox. 2 shutout innings, allowed only 1 hit through 25 pitches. That was that 13-2 win for the Twins. And Gomez trying to hit it into, I think, the river.
Falling down after swinging and missing, and hearing some hoots, I'm sure, from the Twins dugout.
Well, you know, we had Carlos. He's doesn't get cheated. Good little breaking ball on a 3-2 pitch, and Gomez landing on top of home plate, but he's not safe. He's out.
One down in the 7th. We'll bring up Ramirez. .96, but just off the plate.
See, I'd like to see Graham. We always see him split that ball in his hand, kind of like Mike Pelfrey does for that splitter, but haven't seen a lot of those. But it's hard when you always fall behind. He has to. There's another fastball at 96. But you know, when you're working on a pitch, you can really only work on it when the count's in your favor, where you can waste a pitch. See the little spread of the grip of the baseball, but then he'll adjust it in the glove and then throw another fastball.
Pop up down the right field line, and Hunter with the catch, out number 2. You're watching this Twins and Brewers series on Fox Sports North, presented by North Dakota Tourism. Two gone, and Gene Segura will bat.
Graham, of course, a Rule 5 pickup by the Twins over the winter from the Atlanta Braves organization last year at Double-A.
Ball 1. Segura with a 2-run single in the first.
Two sliders right there missing.
Foul back, 2-1.
He's got a great arm. It's nice and easy. It comes out so easy at 96. He can just control that fastball. There's that splitter. Good shot, guys. Another good fastball at 95 up in the zone.
If the command can be there for Graham and Meyer, Ryan Presley throws 95, Blaine Boyer 94. Suddenly the Twins have that. You know, Casey Feen would be the soft tosser, and he throws 92.
Yeah. And he can pinpoint that little cutter.
I guess that's, you know, the ideal, wouldn't it be, to be able to throw with the speed of Graham and have the command of Feen.
Yeah, just come in and just throw good strikes. You can see 83 the slider, 97 the fastball.
Full count.
Oh boy. You know, and sometimes when you make a nasty pitch like that, if you're all over the place, you're not going to get the call. That looked like a pretty good fastball right there. But Segura took it for the walk. Let's take a look at this 3-2 fastball. Well, maybe a little low. Not by much, though.
Fox Tracks presented by Carrier. A 2-out walk, and now Scooter Gennett. To left field. And over in the gap, Rosario puts it away. Good inning for J.R. Graham. A scoreless 7th inning with Carlos Gomez entertaining the fans with a strikeout and a tumble. It sure sounds like it. Very young, very talented. Mauer will lead things off. A couple of hits and a couple of runs scored for Joe on the night. To left field. Hara circling back. Not the best route in the world, but he's there for the catch. One away. One down in the 8th inning. Again, a day game tomorrow and Sunday. Then the Twins will head to Cincinnati. You can spend your summer at Target Field and become a Twins season ticket holder with a new Pick 10 plan. You pick 10 games against the opponents you want to see the Twins defeat, and you save off the box office price. Enjoy sweet spot benefits exclusive to Twins season ticket holders, including 10% off game day food and merchandise at Target Field. You can learn more about package options. Visit twinsbaseball.com/pick10 or call 612-33-TWINS. 1-1 to Plouffe, who hammered a home run his last time up. He sharply singled to right on the 4th. This is the 73rd game for the Twins. So by the time this road trip ends, assuming all 10 games are played, of course, bouncer to short. Segura across the way, 2 down. By the time the Twins return home from this road trip, the season will be more than half over. See what I did there? I took the 72 games. I added 10.
Wow, that's
and
like
I got up to 82.
Right.
And then, of course, the midway point of the season is after game 81.
81 because why? 162.
So half of that is 81.
Okay, very well.
Darlis Forcier, if you're watching, my elementary school teacher in western Minnesota, if you're watching, you amidst all the shame you might have for having me as a student for all these many years, you can be proud that some elementary math
he was one great teacher.
Still carry forward. 2 down. Here's Rosario. On the ground, headed up the middle, but Segura is there. And it's a 1-2-3, 8th inning, on to the bottom of the 8th. Had a lot of fun here tonight at the Twins' expense.
Well, it all came early. I mean, right off the get-go. 10 runs in the first 2 innings. That's not the way to start, but the Twins have had some good at-bats. Kyle Lohse worked the first 6 innings. He's the pitcher of record, and Trevor May lasted only 1/3 of an inning. He's also the pitcher of record.
Rogers hitting to lead off the 8th against J.R. Graham. And even though Trevor May just lasted 2/3 of an inning, it looks like the Twins are in position to get through this game with 4 relief pitchers used. Meyer, Dunsing going 3 innings, Thompson and Graham.
Not a very good swing right there by Rogers on a slider from Graham. Rogers in his 2nd season with the Brewers, a call-up last year, signed by the Brewers back in 2010.
It's hit well to right field. Hunter with room in the track, going away. StarSoup.com trivia question. The last time in a Twins game both teams hit a leadoff home run, I believe it was 06. Grady Sizemore did it for the Indians, and Luis Castillo did it for the Twins. You know, as good as those Twins teams were, you know, after Guzman and Rivas went their separate ways in terms of, you know, having careers, man, we had a lot of middle infielders that just kind of came in, played for a half a season and left.
Yep.
Nick Punto was with the Twins all those years, and Nick Punto never went to spring training with a job, but you know,
he'd always seem to come out with one.
Over the course of the year, a job would open up, and he'd be at third base in the playoffs one year, second base the next year. 2-0. Luis Castillo. Orlando Cabrera was in for a playoff year with the Twins at short. And that would have been what, 09, I believe.
Jason Bartlett a little bit.
Yeah.
J.J. Hardy.
Well, the Twins have short or second base locked up now for a while in Brian Dozier.
Yeah.
And the Twins at short and now out in center field are quite unsettled, to be honest. They had to put Byron Buxton on the disabled list today. Aaron Hicks can rejoin the team in Cincinnati, provided he feels well enough to play and plays reasonably well. His 15 days expire on Sunday. Chopper headed up the middle, and Nunez to his left juggles it. And Parra will reach on what should be an error, charge to Nunez.
Well, had to go a long way for that ball up the middle, and in the exchange just never got a good grip on that baseball. So that high chopper over the mound. We'll see how they rule it here. And they do give Nunez an error. Well, they give him a base hit.
Oh, my. He went to his left. He had the ball in his glove, and he dropped it. Here is Lucroy. What'd you think? Was that a hit or an error?
That should have been an error.
Thank you. Inside ball one. Strike on the outside corner. Twins got an inning and 2/3 from Alex Meyer. He gave up 2 home runs and 4 runs. And then Brian Dunsing with his longest outing in quite some time. He got 9 outs from 9 batters. Aaron Thompson pitched an inning. Now Graham asked to pitch the final 2 innings. And when you have games like this, and every team has them, then you really rely on your next day's pitcher to pitch a good ball game, and that'll be Kyle Gibson. tomorrow afternoon against Matt Garza. And then Sunday, Tommy Malone will go against Mike Fiers. You know, these games aren't fun to manage, but well, you've really got to figure out a way to get through the games and not wear out your bullpen. And I think Paul Molitor's done a good job with that here tonight. When you get 2/3 of an inning from your starter, you're faced with 17 games in 17 days. I suppose you could go one of two ways. You could try to get everybody an inning, or you could try to double up, triple up some innings in the case of Dunsing and just try to get through with 4 relief pitchers.
Dick, I think we saw that going back to the second inning. Remember, we saw Paul Molitor, Tom Bernansky, and Neil Allen all converging right there and kind of looking at, okay, you know, how do we get out of this? Because, you know, Santana ended up hitting for Meyer in the second inning. Excuse me, the third inning.
Right. Here's Braun with 2 on and 1 out. Ball 1. And Suzuki wants to have a chat with Graham.
Let's try to get him back into the strike zone. So you don't see a lot of movement from the fastball of Graham. So when he's outside, that ball just runs outside. So I'm sure Suzuki said, listen, I'm going to sit down in the middle. I'm not going to move much. Just give me your bet fastball down. See if Kurt moves much behind the plate. This fastball, let's went through a different set of signs. He moves not much.
2-0 to Braun. Shane Peterson on deck for the Brewers. For some reason, the Brewers have played their best against the Twins. This is a Brewer team that right now is 20 games below the 500 mark. And they've hit the ball like the glory Brewer teams of the early 80s. Harvey's Wallbangers, of which Paul Molitor was part of it.
I saw Gorman Thomas here this afternoon, big part of that crew.
Two and 1. 2-2. Popped up, and it too is out of play.
Yeah, when you get this point of the season, you mentioned what the Brewers, this is their 75th game. They are 22 games behind the Cardinals. So, you know what, you have to keep playing the game, though. That's what the council wants his players to do. The Mets were just in town. I believe they won 2 of 3 from the Mets.
2-2 to Braun. And another foul. You know, when the Brewers made the managerial change, and I don't know that anybody knows anything about baseball, thought that what happened here was Ron Renicke's fault, but they made the decision that they made, and they gave Counsell the 3-year deal. So if you're a player, and not a Ryan Braun or somebody like that who's got a guaranteed contract, but if you're a player and you want to be around here and you know the Counsell's going to be the manager, well, 20 games below 500 or 20 games above 500, you better come ready to play, because the manager in place is going to be the guy who's going to be making the team the next few years. 3-2 to Braun. And a double hit foul.
And believe me, the general manager, Bob Melvin, is also watching.
Doug Melvin.
Doug.
Braun having a lengthy at bat, and Graham about to throw his 40th pitch, trying to get his 5th out. foul. Tenth pitch coming up in this at bat. On the outside corner. Perfect pitch by Graham. 2 down.
Well, the battle won by J.R. Graham. A long battle between he and Braun. And he goes to that fastball.
Okay.
Caught him.
Go ahead, say it was a pitcher's pitch.
Pitcher's pitch right on the corner. Perfect pitch.
Off the plate.
No, it wasn't. It was right on the black.
It was not a strike.
Graham picks up his second strikeout.
Here's Lind with 2 on and 2 out. And there's another strike.
I believe this is Peterson.
Yep. Peterson hitting in what was Lind's spot. Actually, the double switch here, and then the pitcher spot came up. And strike 2.
So a 302 average for Shane Peterson. Called up on June 3rd from AAA.
And Graham finishes his outing on a high note with a pair of strikeouts. An early 1-0 Twins lead quickly vanished when the Brewers scored 6 times, knocking out Trevor May after a third of an inning. Alex Meyer made his major league debut, and the Twins have not come close enough to make this 9th inning interesting, at least not yet. Jonathan Broxton will come in to pitch to the Twins in the 9th, facing Kurt Suzuki.
Yeah, Broxton, 31 years old, in his 2nd season with the Brewers. Good fastball, slider, changeup. Maldonado now catching. Broxton.
Outside ball 1. It'll be Suzuki, Nunez, Robinson, then the pitcher spot due up. Bouncer to short, easy play for Segura. 1 down. Couple of day games coming up here. Our CenturyLink What's Next has Kyle Gibson on the mound against another former Twin, Matt Garza.
Yeah, Garza, you can see his numbers are high like Kyle Loesch's were. Garza will be making his 15th start as well as Kyle Gibson. And both of them have faced the Twins already this year, and Gibson has faced the Brewers.
Nunez will bat. Chopper. Hit right to Rogers, to the bag, and a quick second out. We'll bring up Shane Robinson. Robinson 0 for 3. A couple of ground balls and a pop-up, none leaving the infield. In the end, it just meant one run, but in terms of momentum, the ball hit off the mound. Getting in front of it is Jeanette. And it's a quick 9th inning for Broxton. The Twins are retired, and after taking that 1-0 lead, Tom Hanneman was pretty much all Brewers after that.